Hey guys, J-Man here for another comic review, Dawn Attack number 3. Okay, if you know me, you know that I love Frazetta, and I've been all over this comic and the Death Dealer stuff. I'm catching up, and the Tales of Science Fiction or Science Fantasy is out today or tomorrow. It's this week. So I'm going to go to the comic shop this week, probably today, and see if they have it. If not, I'll have to go tomorrow. But I know it's out one of these days. Anyways, Dawn Attack number 3, I'm going to review this using my space method. Story, pacing, artistry, characters, enjoyment. Each category gets a score between 0 to 2. 2 is the best you can get in every category. When you add up all your scores, you get a final thing out of 10. That's your comic. Most comics should get a 5 or 6. If everything gets a 1, that means it was okay. 7 or 8 means it's really good. 9 or 10 means it's fantastic. I'm not comparing this comic to other comics. I'm not saying this is against Giant Size X-Men or V for Vendetta or something. I'm comparing this to itself and the other issues and the other Frazetta stuff. So it's like a group. All the Frazetta stuff together gets compared. So when you buy this comic, you have certain expectations. How well did this comic book deliver on those expectations? Let's start with the story. 2 out of 2. I love this story. I'm really enjoying it. So Dawn's father, Dawn is part of a land that's just being ravaged by war and attacks and all that. Her father some time ago went off to find allies to help fight in that war. Now he went missing. Dawn has grown up a little bit without him, and she's trying to find him again. So she's gone off to find him. It's been a great little adventuring going around to get him back. And yeah, I've just been really enjoying this. Look, it's a simple story, but it's done in a good way. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying that every story has to be super complicated like Watchmen or something. I want it to fit. This kind of comic should be a good fantasy story that's easy to understand, that you get behind, right? My favorite movie is Conan the Barbarian. His parents are killed, his village is destroyed, he's a slave, he's a gladiator, right? All that stuff. And he wants revenge at the end. It ain't Ben-Hur, right? There's not all these little social complexities and friendships and all this. I love Ben-Hur as well. One of my favorite movies of all time, but Conan is my favorite movie of all time. It's a different kind of story. It's simple, but it works, and I think it works really well in this comic. Pacing, I'm going to give the pacing a friggin' 2 out of 2, man. There's action. Okay, so this particular issue, there was a bit more story. So you could ding the pacing, but actually I'm not going to ding it because I wanted to know what was going on. And they needed to show you. So they kind of show you what happened when the dad left and why he didn't come back right away. So that's important. In the meantime, we're cutting from that to Ferris and JC, who are still back home and fighting with these big creatures here and stuff. I'll get to the characters and art in a minute. So yeah, and I thought this was well paced. There was some fighting at the end. There's a stinger at the end too. So you could ding the pacing a little bit because maybe there should have been a bit more fighting, but I'm not going to in this case because I was still interested in what was happening. Artistry, I'm going to give this a 1.5. I thought it was really good. I like these pages. It is panely, but I do like the art and I think it fits. The art style changes when they do like a flashback or whatever, which is fine. A lot of good, good violence here, good fights. Oh man, look at that. That's so sick. So yeah, I really like the art here. 1.5. I thought it was really good. Characters, I'm going to give it a 1.5. We don't have the villains established yet, right? So it's hard to give it a full thing because I don't know, like I haven't gotten a grasp on the bad guys. So I don't know how intense the bad guys are. Right now, I love the dad. I love Ferris. I love Dawn. She's awesome. JC's good. It's just that the villains are missing. Like I understand that there's a battle going on, but I'm not getting the villains' perspective enough. I don't need them to be fleshed out necessarily, but they need to feel more like a threat rather than just random like attacks and random monsters. So we need a strong villain. We're probably going to get one sooner or later. But yeah, that's missing from this comic. Okay. For the enjoyment factor, I think I'm going to give it a 2 out of 2. I really enjoyed this comic. I would maybe say 1.5, but you know what? I really enjoyed this a lot. So what are we at? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow, 9 out of 10. Is that right? I gave 1.5, 1.5. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 out of 10. Might be a little bit high for this issue, but I personally really got invested in this comic and story. I love the covers, all the covers, even the non-Frazetta ones. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think this is a really good book. It's fantasy. I like sword and sorcery. I prefer my fantasy to be a bit grittier. Like Lord of the Rings would be as kind of, as nice as it should get. I don't like these, Dungeons and Dragons, that new movie. It looks too silly to. I'll get it and buy it and I'll watch it. It looks a bit too silly for me. I like sword and sorcery, like friggin' Conan the Barbarian and Conquest and that stuff kind of stuff. So to me, this just fits better with Frazetta, and it all just makes sense to me. So, highly recommending Dawn Attack, and I'm going to pick up that Tales of Science Fantasy today or tomorrow, and I will try to review that ASAP. But all right, guys, that's it. Until next time.